Hi, this is Goda Devi. I am here to present a topic about the ensemble learning, that is boosting. In order to know what is boosting, let us picturize this scenario. You have built a linear regression model that gives a decent 77% accuracy on the validation dataset. Next, you decide to expand your portfolio by building a k nearest neighbor model and a decision tree model on the same dataset. These models gave you an accuracy of 62% and 89% on the validation set respectively. It appears that all three models work in completely different ways. For instance, the linear regression model tries to capture linear relationships in the data, while the decision tree model attempts to capture the nonlinearity in the data. However, instead of using any one of these models for making the final predictions, we use a combination of all of these models and thinking of an average of the predictions from these models. By doing this, we would be able to capture more information from the data, right? That's preliminary, the idea behind the ensembling language. And where learning does. Boosting is one of the techniques that uses the concept of ensemble learning, and a boosting algorithm combines multiple simple models to generate the final output. We will look at some of the important boosting algorithms in this presentation. Boosting is an ensemble modeling technique which attempts to build a strong classifier from the number of weak classifiers. It is done building a model by using weak models in series. Firstly, a model is built from the training data. Then, the second model is built which tries to correct the errors present in the first model. This procedure is continued and models are added until either the complete training data set is predicted correctly or the maximum number of models are added. AdaBoost was the first really successful boosting algorithm developed for the purpose of binary classification. AdaBoost is short for adaptive boosting and is a very popular boosting technique which combines multiple weak classifiers into a single strong classifier. It was formulated by your friend and Robert Shaffer. They also won the 2013 Goldie Prize for their work. General method for improving the accuracy of any given algorithm works by creating a series of challenge datasets. Even modest performance on these can be used to produce an overall high accuracy predictor. Works amazingly well in practice at a boost and its variations one of the top 10 algorithms, and it is backed up by solid foundations. Here comes the types of the boosting algorithms. First is AdaBoost. AdaBoost combines multiple weak learners into a single strong learner. The weak learners in AdaBoost are decision trees with a single split, called decision stumps. When AdaBoost creates its first decision stump, all observations are weighted equally. To, to correct the previous error, the observations that were incorrectly classified now carry more weight than observations that were correctly classified. AdaBoost algorithms can be used for both classification and regression problems. And next is gradient boosting. Just like AdaBoost, gradient boosting works by sequentially adding predictors to an ensemble, each one correcting its predecessor. However, instead of changing the weights of every incorrect classified observation at every iteration like AdaBoost, gradient boosting method tries to fit the new predecessor to the residual errors made by the previous predictor. GBM uses gradient descent to find the shortcomings in the previous learner's prediction. GBM algorithm can be given by following steps. Fit a model to the data, that is f1 of x is equal to y. Then create a new model f2 of x is equal to f1 of x plus h1 of x. By combining weak learner after weak learner, our final model is able to account for a lot of the error from the original model and reduces this error over time. A gradient boosting machine or GBM combines the predictions from multiple decision trees to generate the final predictions. Keep in mind that all the weak learners in the gradient boosting machine are decision trees. But if we are using the same algorithm, then how is using 100 decision trees better than using a single decision tree? How do different decision tree capture different signals or information from the data? Here is the trick. The node in every decision tree takes a different subset of features for selecting the best split. This means that the individual trees aren't all the same and hence they are able to capture different signals from the data. Additionally, each new tree takes into account the errors or mistakes made by the previous trees. So every successive decision tree is built on the errors of the previous trees. This is how the trees in the gradient boosting machine algorithm are built sequentially. And the final one is XGBoost. XGBoost stands for Extreme Gradient Boosting. XGBoost is an implementation of the gradient boosting decision trees designed for speed and performance. Gradient boosting machines are generally very slow in implementation because of sequential model training. Hence, they are not very scalable. Thus, XGBoost is focused on computational speed and model performance. XGBoost provides parallelization of tree construction using all of your CPU cores during training, and distributed computing for training where large models using a cluster of machines. Out of core computing for very large datasets that don't fit into memory. Cache optimization of the data structures and algorithm to make the best use of hardware. Extreme gradient boosting or XGBoosting is another popular boosting algorithm. In fact, XGBoosting is simply an improvised version of the GBM algorithm. The working procedure of the XGBoost is same as GBM. The trees in XGBoost are built sequentially, trying to correct the errors of the previous trees. But there are certain features that make XGBoost slightly better than JVM, which are one of the most important point is that XGBM implements parallel preprocessing, which makes it faster than GBM. And XGBoost also includes a variety of regularization techniques that reduce overfitting and improve overall performance. You can select the regularization technique by setting the hyperparameters of the XGBoost algorithm. Here comes the algorithm. The first step is initialize the dataset and assign equal weights to each of the data point. Next, provide this as input to the model and identify the wrongly classified data points. Then increase the weight of the wrongly classified data points. If bot required the results, then go to step 5 or go to step 2 and ends the algorithm. Initially, we need to find what is the initial data set from that designed tree. Then new set of data is formed. Then again a new tree is generated. Collect bad cases again. Guess and then a new tree is generated. Repeat this process until a good tree is generated. This is called a boosting. Here is an example, that is spam detection. Boosting, meta procedure that takes in an algorithm for finding rules of thumb, that is weak learner, produces a highly accurate rule by calling the weak learner repeatedly on cleverly chosen dataset. Apply weak learner on a subset of emails, obtain rule of thumb. Apply to second subset of emails, obtain second rule of thumb. Apply to the third subset of emails, obtain third rule of thumb. Repeat the above process t times, combine weak rules into the single highly accurate rule. Here, this diagram explains the AdaBoost algorithm in a very simple way. Let's try to understand it in a stepwise process. B1 consists of 10 data points which consist of two types, namely plus and minus, and 5 of which are plus and 5 other are minus, and each one has been assigned equal weight initially. The first model tries to classify the data points and generate a vertical separator line, but it wrongly classifies 3 plus as minus. You can see that we have assigned equal weights to each data point and applied a decision stamp to classify them as plus or minus. The decision stamp D1 has generated vertical line at left side of the classifier the data points. We see that the vertical line has incorrectly predicted 3 plus as minus. In such case, we will assign higher weights to these 3 plus and apply another decision stamp. B2 consists of 10 data points from the previous model in which the 3 wrongly classified plus are weighted more so that the current model tries more to classify these pluses correctly. This model generates a vertical separator line which correctly classifies the previously wrong classified pluses, but in this attempt it wrongly classifies two minuses. Here you can see that the size of 3 incorrectly predicted plus is bigger as compared to rest of the data points. In this case, the second decision stump D2 will try to predict them correctly. Now, a vertical line D2 at the right side of this box has classified 3 misclassified plus correctly, but again it has caused misclassification error, this time with 3 minus again. We will assign higher weight to 3 minus and apply another decision stump. D3 consists of the 10 data points from the previous model in which the 3 wrongly classified minus are weighted more so that the current model tries more to classify these minuses correctly. This model generates a horizontal separator line which correctly classifies the previously wrongly classified minuses. Here, 3 minuses give higher weights. A decision stump D3 is applied to predict these misclassified observations correctly. This time a horizontal line is generated to classify plus and minus based on the higher weights of misclassified observation. B4 combines together B1, B2 and B3 in order to build a strong prediction model which is much better than any individual model used. Here we have combined D1, D2, D3 to form a strong prediction having complex rule as compared to individual weaker learner. You can see that this algorithm has classified these observations quite well as compared to any of the individual weak learner. Thank you.